Lancelot, right?
Yeah.
But now it's Kyle TZ rocking this Balmond, which we saw very sparingly in the last major tournament that was MSC. Now getting into the Land of Dawn, it's a purple mirror start for both of them. And you can see the Balmond is a little faster here. I'm worried about that Martis though, because a Martis that doesn't snowball, that doesn't find the right target after each target that he kills, basically isn't worth much. So looking at Bren Esports, the only real one you can jump from is Few, and Few is so great at using space.
You know, fun fact, last time I saw a Balmond pick in my ranked games was back when I was in the Legend. And you guys can get your Legend tickets right now because it's the only one available. As FlatTZ gets a double stun, Brent should be able to find this Lethal Wanderer. That's a good retrieve from CalTZ to go and collapse onto Bleed, trying to go for more invades. But I think we had a little bit of a discussion as well, Leo, about the matchups here for the gold lane, especially. Beatrix versus Brody, we said it is a skill matchup.
It's a 50-50. You just press the buttons better, you place yourself better on the map, and you can win. And I think that's what's happening here. Super Marco. Look, he's pushing him out. He's getting those stacks in.
Yeah, Beatrix definitely has he has an okay time if you just go for the farm, but you gotta remember that you need to just last hit. If you shove the wave, Brody will have control. Once Brody freezes the wave, which Super Marco is doing right now, there's not much counterplay to it, unless, obviously, you get a second guy down below into the gold lane, which is right now JPL. And I think if they want to switch things up, this is the game to do so. They want to get the Beatrix into that mid-game power spike as fast as possible to get this Brody and try to shut him down. Because if he gets snowballed, if he gets the turrets, it can be over in the 4th, 5th minute.
Yep, which is a throwback to Game 1. In Game 1, Bren Esports did so well to open up the map for Super Marco. And here, looks like Bleed is off to a better start here. On the right foot, if we will. Now Sagitnu spots shenanigans. Turtle gets taken. And it looks like there's not much. He's going to survive this, most likely. But to no avail, is this what we expected from the Masha? Is this what they wanted to do here in the XP lane?
I think it is sort of what they wanted to do, but the thing is, you need to have instant synergy when it comes to that. If you have a Masha distracting, you need to have the members on the other side of the map ready, prepared to go for a trade. And unfortunately here, Deck was just not on the same page. He did not go for the orange buff fast enough, and he actually focused on his purple buff. Meanwhile here, CalTZ with an invaded cheeky one. He's going to fall first blood to Bleed Esports, and the Masha is already doing really, really good early on.
All right. This is definitely uncharacteristic of Bren Esports, especially seeing what they did in Game 1. What was Kyle TZ doing in that deep? Was there not enough information on the map saying, hey, there could be 2 or 3 Bleed members roaming around, and this is a dangerous invade, this is a dangerous steal? He tried to commit Grand Theft Orange to no avail. That was a wasted rotation there. Definitely a win for Bleed.
He got caught by the cops. 1-star cop run.
That was a 1-star wasted, man.
That was.
If you know, you know. That it's not very good.
I think it's like, you know, he thinks he has a sports car because, you know, he's an assassin player. He's very mobile.
That's right.
But in that situation, again, this is why we kind of mentioned it's a bit uncharacteristic to see Kyle on a utility jungler.
That's right.
Especially something like a Balmond with very, very low mobility and very low playmaking potential.
Yeah, he was actually buffed or reconfigured in the last big patch, and it doesn't affect much of his farming. So in that moment when he was farming and there was not much follow through, because again, lethal counter was buffed as well, there was nothing. There was no reason for Kyle to be that deep in. So I'm hoping Bren Esports can, for the sake of their victory here, repair that and then fix that communications breakdown, or for Bleed take advantage so we make it to Game 3, because again, it's not perfect. Bren Esports are not flawless as they seemed in Game 1. Now, with the pull, Brent's still 500 gold ahead. JPL and FMM revealed. I'm wondering what's Few and Kyle thinking. Ogwin takes a nice pixel brush. Turtle at half health.
Should be a free one now with lethal counter. Perfect calculation as the mid lane gets shoved in by Deck. Despite dying in the first few minutes of the game, CalTZ is still up 1 level. He's trying to make it 2 levels right now. That's a final slash. Brings Sagitnu back. Few with a good snipe down. CalTZ has a lethal counter. Sagitnu should fall here, but he's not in range just yet. That's the vengeance. 1 more is all he needs, but he wants to give it to Kyle TZ, who picks it up a bit risky there. They really want to snowball forward, but here you can already see Brent already has an 84% chance of winning. Deck, he's going to lose out on that one, and Kyle's still holding on to that lead. He wants everything in enemy jungle.
So this is his version of playing greedy, right? Like, again, I think that's what explains that attempted steal on the orange is he was playing very greedy. And what's that led them to? Again, just a smorgasbord of items on this Balmond, who is about 800 gold ahead currently of Deck. And I'm thinking about Deck here. Again, we mentioned how if he's not snowballing, if he's not decimating on decimating on decimating, what do they expect to do? And I don't think there's enough burst from Bleed to do that.
Not enough burst at all from Bleed, but looking at the other side, there's a lot of burst on Bren that actually works. And I want to give props to Super Marco here because he understands completely what made or what makes Brody really hard to execute in this patch. The steel leg plates and the buff to the Dreadnought armor, anti-Cuirass, is really what kind of stomps Brody and why we really didn't even think about the Brody.
Yep.
The fact that he went for the Fury Hammer straight to the Malefic Roar really gives him a lot to say in this game. And look at his emblem. I didn't actually realize there's JPL with a good hook. That's a Bloody Hunt as well, but it should not be a kill. Ogwen should be able to disengage. Lethal counter. Almost taking JPL down. Ogwen forced to flicker out a snipe. Ogwen with a sidestep. And now it's just FMM swapping weapons. But back to my point. Malefic Roar, Fury Hammer, double pen, and weapon mastery.
Yep, and again, by going with early Malefic Roar, you're going to see increasing returns. And so far, I'm sure there are like a couple of content creators and analysts out there who have done the math. The earlier you get it, the better. Especially when you want to snowball, when you want to stop your opponent from getting much burst. FMM! How's the pickoff? Brainy Sports, just one. Just one down bottom. What do you want down bottom? Everything.
Yeah, everything and the turret too. This 6-minute turret take is going to be quite massive because it enables Super Marco to rotate across the map and transition and convert on that lead even more. And you can see the Malefic Roar did so much with the Fury Hammer too.
So good.
Steel leg plates for FMM. That's what you go for when you're up against a Brody, up against a bully in lane. But when you go for Malefic Roar first item, steel leg plates has no impact.
It's a wash, man. You wear pants, it goes right through it. And what's beautiful about what Super Marco did here is he has the Fury Hammer and then a couple of Legion Swords. Now it's up to him. The world is his oyster. He can build whatever he wants from there. If he sees more pants, then he adjusts Hunter Strike. If he doesn't and he sees that maybe Bleed is getting a little greedy, Blade of Despair. I'm all for it. And now, so far, Bleed are just, again, trying to stop the bleeding. They know that bottom lane has permanent damage, not going to be as clear for FMM to farm from. Good news, though, FMM is farming up quite a bit, despite that early death, despite being 0, 1, and 0. Now, looking elsewhere, I'm not so sure if this is the right move, because FMM didn't rotate either. It's just as dangerous down bottom, even if you do send a couple of mid laners.
It's going to be very hard. I mean, catching an Arlet, especially an Arlet that has a lead, you know, it's just going to be very, very hard. Super Marco as well here, you saw that he already completed the BOD in the 8th minute of the game with a Malefic Roar. Usually, you complete your BOD because you go for Fury Hammer first and then BOD. The fact that he's able to do that, Malefic to BOD in the 8th minute, that's the time span as to usually when you get just Fury Hammer and BOD. Just a small little item, but it seems like for Bren, they're not just penetrating leg plates, they're also penetrating the enemy jungle.
Yep, and given the situation, Brainy Sports have mounted themselves onto a position wherein they can call the shots. Again, very similar to game 1, not for the lack of vision from Bleed this time around, but wait, that was a possible engage. And here's the thing, we haven't even seen the Minotaur do much.
Oh my god, Leo. When you see Super Marco's first kill, when the fact that Super Marco's first kill can take the whole Cole Ultra HP, it is already disastrous for Bleed. And that's just the power spike. The fact that Brody has this big of a lead in the 8th minute of the game, you can expect these objectives to just go down, especially with the lethal counter with a Balmond on that Demon Slayer as well. There's not much you can do when you're Bleed right now. You can just wait as you get suffocated.
And so far, in the past 8-9 minutes, Super Marco has been a major cause for Bleed's problems, right? That's blocking them from even thinking about Game 3. And he hasn't even died yet. Even if, let's say, Bleed can mount a comeback and try to stop Super Marco, where's it going to come from? Sagitnu from a weird angle? A hook from JPL? Again, Deck, I'm not sure what he has to do here. As a frontliner, maybe go for a disengage, look for this. Sagitnu with a jump in.
They have good pill, and man, they have good mechanics too. Just easily sidestepping through JPL's Iron Hook. And I don't know if you paid attention to this, Leo, but I want everyone to see how much damage Super Marco does with one hit on the turret. He took that turret down with 2 hits, and it was half HP, right? So I just really want to see what Super Marco does.
Here, he has a Blade of Despair of his own, pair of pants, attack speed boots, and then maybe build up his own Malefic Roar here. So yeah, definitely way behind. Oh, about 3K. Oh, almost 3K, 2.5 to be specific. Oh, it's so tough.
And Marco understands that, you know what, I already have the damage, I already have a massive lead, I don't want to go for all offensive items. Meanwhile, here, up top, Sagitno is going to be bursted down, goes in for Thunderclap, is able to connect on the Super Marco, but Horn Apart Memory should be able to take him down right here, right now. Sagitno down, Super Marco already on the way to that Wind of Nature, just what I was going to say, and he got it, he already has the Wind of Nature, so sure. All right, Bleed, let's say they do hold out until FMM gets his item, Power Spike, which is, I would say, still quite a long way from getting to that Power Spike. But even if he does, Wind of Nature, it's done.
Yep. Where then, right? And again, how do you even line up the shots to make sure that FMM gets him in? Again, this is a DPS hero you're looking at. Even if you do catch him with the Renner ults, it's very difficult. Free Lord here, given over to Bren Esports, and they're just going to start taking everything away. Oh, Lord. They even kept the little baby purple.
Yeah. They even got the blade armor for Calteezy.
Even Deck can't farm up. This is good for the King, for KLVJ, but I guess good news, bad news, right? Bad news, what's happening now? Just take a look, right? As a Bleed fan, this isn't what you want to see. Good news is, good high ground defense. I think there's enough peel between Deck, JPL, and Sagitnu for Kiel and FMM to just clear waves. But they have to play it very, very well. They have to play it right. And that's even just thinking about and assuming Ogwen won't do much. We haven't really seen a big ticket Minoan Fury yet.
No, and that's crazy because usually Bren, it really is dependent on Ogwen. If Ogwen makes the play, if he opens up a fight, Bren just follows. Here, the fact that he's just chilling in the back. Meanwhile, wait, Deck might actually be solo kill here.
No.
That's what the Unbending Will does, man. So much damage. An only lethal counter from Calteezy as he jumps forward under the base turret. A good stun onto kill VJ as he's able to bring Calteezy back to the turret, but it's only going to be a first base turret taken down up top for free. Nothing Bleed can do. And look at how Bren managed to waste. Final slash, bringing Deck all the way to the back. That's a good Iron Hook with the Bloody Hunt as well. Catching him under the base with the Abuser's Bastion. That's the decimation as well, but with the lethal counter and a Minoan Fury to knock 2 members up. It should just be Bren who can push forward, plow down on Bleed Esports with Few as well. Finding another kill. Now it's a Sea Halberd for Marco. Super Marco with a flicker forward and the stun now with Wind of Nature as well. Dealing some damage back again. There's some healing coming in from that minion. But that's going to be another kill. Super Marco, even though he falls, he gets a double. And it's a 7-3 stat line. Not as fast as Game